welcome back. How are you today? How are you feeling? So in this beautiful video, I wanted to talk about some of the comments and questions that I received after our beautiful chakra series. I was divinely guided to do a meditation on each individual chakra. And as I was doing them, I was then guided to create some videos talking you through what to expect with the beautiful chakras. Now, there's been a few questions that have come up since, or some comments. People want to know more about how to do all of that. So one of the comments or questions that I got was, how often should one work on their chakras? And it will show up here for you to see the actual question. So how often should one work on their chakras? Now, when I was doing my Reiki course to become a Reiki master originally, I had to work on them every day because we needed to do at least 30 self-healings in order to complete a certain section of our course. We had to do 30 self-healings, 30 healings on other people in person, and then 30 distance healings off the top of my head. I don't know if that's changed or if the numbers are different, but that's how I remember it. It was 30 of each, as far as I can remember. The other thing I was going to say is to be patient, because I'm finding that as I release things, the memory of them isn't as sharp as it used to be. You know, when I wrote Your Past is a Gift, oh, he's lying down here, poor little thing. When I wrote this book originally, Your Past is a Gift, the memories were so clear. Like every little detail of every memory that I included in that book, the time, you know, in the timing, when each thing happened and how long, the duration of things, all of that was crystal clear at the time. But as I am awakening and going through each different level of awakening, all of those details now, because they've already been written, they've already been published, they're no longer needed in my system. I no longer need to hold on to them. So as they're being released, the details aren't as sharp as they used to be. So I was noticing the last few weeks as I'm trying to go over things to share that it may seem like it was a couple of weeks and it might have been a couple of months, you know, in actual time. But that's because it's happened and I've already shared them in all these beautiful books. And as my energy is making space to become more expansive, it no longer needs to hold on to all these details. So if it was 2 weeks and not 2 months, or if it was 2 months and not 2 weeks originally, you know, I apologize if the details are not as clear or as sharp as they were when I was writing them for the books. I'm learning to let that all go now because it's done. It's been written, it's been published. I don't need to hold on to it anymore. You know, there's a freedom in letting things go. And I was saying to my beautiful friend in New Zealand that lately I feel like my past, the things I've been through in my human experience, they feel like footprints in the sand. You know, when you walk along the beach and your feet make footprints, but then the waves come and wash them away. At the moment, that's what these beautiful memories are starting to feel like. They feel like they're being washed away. They're no longer needed in my experience. So I tried to stay as true to the facts of what happened, but I'm finding that lately it's getting harder and harder to remember, especially time. You know, whether it was 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks or exact, you know, time of things. Like when I was trying to remember what age my daughter asked for the crystals. And I know in the book when I wrote When Your Love Leaves, I remembered exactly when she came to ask for them. But as I was trying to recall that memory, it's like it's been washed away. There's a faint memory of it. But the actual clear, precise details are no longer relevant, I guess. So coming back to our beautiful chakras, when I was doing the Reiki course, I had to do them a lot. I was doing them at least once a day, the chakras. Either I was doing them as a self-healing on myself, or I was doing it for others when I was going in to do the healings for others. So that was to do the Reiki course. To be honest, you have to feel within yourself how often feels right for you, because maybe doing them once a day is too much. You know, you might feel that it's too much to sit with your chakras once a day. It's quite time consuming to sit with them and wait for information to come up, or whatever is coming up, if there's a physical thing that's trying to come up for you. So in the next video, what we have planned for you is to do a beautiful Reiki session with you, where we do all the chakras. And the plan for this beautiful video is that at least once a week, or whenever you feel you need a tune-up, because that's what it feels like for me. You know when you take your car in for a tune-up and the mechanic grabs a hold of it and fixes it and tweaks it and makes it all beautiful again and gives it back to you? That's what working with the chakras feels like for me. It's like a tune-up, you know, like getting your batteries recharged. So we've decided we're going to do a beautiful Reiki session with you in the next video, where we are going to do all of the chakras. And how that will assist you is that you can use that meditation, I guess you can call it a meditation, what we're going to do for the Reiki session. We're going to take you through all of your chakras, and what you can do with that is, say once a week you come in and you sit with that beautiful meditation and you go through your chakras. It'll have all 7 of them in one meditation. And you can feel into what is going on with each one. So if you feel as you're going through that meditation that you feel like there's something in your solar plexus that doesn't feel like it's in alignment, it doesn't feel right, if you like, then you can go to the individual meditation that is just for the solar plexus, and you can work with that. You need to learn to feel within yourself how your energy feels. It's different for everyone. Some people get visions, some people get words, some people get, you can feel an agitation, or you can feel like there's something. You'll be able to feel it within yourself. The more you do it, the more you'll become more attuned into what it is that each chakra is doing. So how often? I would suggest, if you're new, once a week. Give yourself once a week to do the full Reiki session with your all 7 chakras, okay? And then as you go through all 7 chakras, see how each one is feeling as you're going through that meditation. And then decide from there, if as you sit with a certain chakra, there is something that feels like something's trying to come up, or something's not quite right with that chakra, then go and do the meditation that is specifically for that chakra. That's how you can work all of these meditations now, okay? The other way is, because you've got all the individual chakras, if you're finding, as we spoke before, each individual chakra is for a different part of your body, but it's also for a different part of you. So say, for example, the crown chakra, it's your direct connection to the divine. So if you're feeling like that communication isn't clear, the crown chakra is what you'd be working on. Your third eye, if you feel that you're having trouble communicating with your spirit guides, that communication is not clear, this is all the third eye, your communication with the spirit world, then you would be working on that chakra. If you're having trouble expressing yourself, you find that you can't say what you want to say, you can't say, no, I don't want to do that, no, I can't, I don't want to. If you can't express yourself, if you can't speak your truth, then the throat chakra is what you would be working on. If you're having trouble with love, receiving love from others, giving love from you to others, then of course that's your heart chakra right there. Your solar plexus, if you're having trouble manifesting in this world, in this physical world, the solar plexus is your connection to this physical world. So that is what you would be looking at, working on. That chakra, the solar plexus, is your power to manifest into this world. The sacral, you would be looking at if your creativity is not flowing. If you feel that your creating is not flowing, you need help with that area. And the last one is the root. Anything to do with family, anything to do with grounding, anything to do with this beautiful earth and your connection to this earth. Ancestors, all of that, your family line, your children, your parents, your partners, all of this belongs to the root. So any issues that you would have in this area, you would be working that chakra. Now, as I said when we were doing the chakras, each individual one, was to sit with each one as we're going through and see what it means to you. If not, go online and do a research of what all the different websites say that these 7 chakras represent, and then find the one that resonates with you and go with that. When I started doing Reiki with Melissa, and even I did a free online course for Reiki that's in the UK, I think. It's just called Free Reiki Course, I think. I'll find the website and I'll put it in the description with this video today, because you can learn all about Reiki without becoming a Reiki master. If you've got any curiosity about how it works, what's involved, everything. To me, it's life-changing. I love Reiki. But with that course and with the course that I did with Melissa, I don't do that particular method that they do, both of them. And with Melissa, I learned that there is no wrong way and there is no right way. There is just your way of doing things. You have to follow your intuition. You have to follow your gut. And so with time, I found that I was doing my own Reiki method. Because when Melissa teaches it, she doesn't say anything about bringing in spirit guides or bringing in a whole team of angels or bringing in anything. She just talks about working with a beautiful energy. But from the very beginning, I was guided to bring them in. And I learnt with time that it's because they're the ones that do all the work. I just call them in and I just delegate. Okay, this is what the healing is. Who's going to do it? Which one of you wants to? And if not, all of us will do it as a team. You have to find what works for you, what feels right for you, always. No matter what I say here, if it doesn't feel right, then go online and look and see what does feel right for you. Maybe 4 out of the 7 chakras resonated, but there's 3 that to you don't feel right. Go and do a research. Search online and see what you can find, for those chakras. And then that's your list. That's your 7. And areas of your life where you are having trouble, then you go through and see which one of those chakras aligns with that issue. Childhood issues, you would be looking at the root, because that's family. If you feel a complete disconnect to God, to the universe, to spirit, you would be looking at the crown chakra. That is your beautiful connection. So hopefully that helps a little in terms of which chakra and how often. You have to feel into yourself and how often. Some people may want to do it every day. Tap into, okay, how are my chakras today? How are they feeling? How are they feeling? Only you can know how they feel as you are working through these beautiful meditations. Or what information is coming up for you with each beautiful chakra. Only you can know, because you are the one walking your path. You are the one on your journey, no one else. So what may resonate with one person may not resonate with another, because we're on different paths. We're all here having different experiences. So that was the first one, is how often, and you need to feel into yourself. Once I stopped doing the Reiki course, I completed it. I found myself for the first few months still doing it every day, like tapping into the chakras, because it was so much fun, to work with them. For me, it was fun. It was playful. I loved going in and seeing what my energy was doing in each one, but that may be too much for others, especially as we are all so busy, So you may find once a week is more than enough to tap in and to see what's happening. And for me, it's just about getting the information, of what it is what's coming up for me this week, because we've already let go of all of that, but there's still stuff coming up, that wants to be looked at, that wants to be returned to source, to love. So how can we tell if the chakras are balanced or out of alignment? You can usually feel into it. And that is why I love spinning the colors at the end. Again, this was not something I learnt in either of my Reiki courses, but from the first time I did Reiki, I felt compelled. Once I got to the bottom, I'd start at the crown, work all my way down to the root, which I'll walk you through in the meditation we're going to do next. When I get to the bottom, to the root, I start spinning the colors for each chakra on the way back up. And usually for me, that's an indication. If visually you are trying to spin that color and you're finding that it's not spinning, it's not moving, or sometimes it's tilted, like I can see it, but it's tilted. You can usually feel in the spin. You can feel that something's not quite right with that chakra. I can see it, but I'm saying for others that can't see, you might get a sense for, oh, this chakra is not spinning the way, like it's flowing, like there's nothing trapped here, like it's good. So that's why I like turning the colors. So you can use that as well. As you're turning the colors, does it feel like these colors are turning? They're spinning freely without there's no wobbles, there's no tilts. It's not moving. For some people I try and spin and it's just not moving. It's just sitting there. And I'm like, okay, it's been very rare. Usually I'll get it's a wobble or it's a tilt, like it's not a beautiful free-flowing spin, like when you want to spin, like a spinning top. You want it to spin beautifully. And it doesn't have to be fast or slow, but just you can feel the energy in it, that it's flowing freely. It doesn't feel like there's anything trapped in it that's holding it down or making it dense. There's no heaviness in it that isn't allowing it to spin. Okay? So, how do we know if it's in balance? Yeah, only you can know for yourself. You can feel into it. And maybe in the beginning, you don't feel very much, or you can't really sense what is happening with them. Keep working through the videos, because I'm constantly being guided what to bring up. And the information that's being brought up is what they are picking up on, that people need to look at. So maybe there's something trapped there. There's a fear, there's a doubt, there's something, that's causing a chakra to not spin freely. And maybe you don't sense it yet, but keep watching the videos, because it will be released. Then come back, and eventually you'll get to a state where you'll be able to work through your chakras, if you're not already, and you'll be able to sense into, yes, this feels like it's in alignment. It's flowing freely. I don't feel any density. I'm not receiving heavy messages of things that are trapped here. Because they're the things we're looking out for when we go into the chakra. Are there any messages? Is there any information here that's stored, that's trapped, that's like a log in our river? That's what we're looking for, those logs that we talked about. Your beautiful energies like the river. And the trauma that gets trapped in our beautiful river are the logs. And when we do these beautiful meditations, it's to try and find those logs and then hopefully remove them, so that this beautiful river that is your energy can flow freely again. Now, I had one more question for this one. Let me know if it's still not clear. If you want more information, let us know in the comments, because more comes up with the questions. So more information, different information that may explain it differently, that you may understand it better if it's not there yet. Yeah? So always ask. That's what we're here for. The last question I had that I thought was absolutely beautiful and I wanted to share. Why do you want us to bring the earth energy and the cosmic life force through the body and then out of it to the other extreme? It says, I'd rather let it in my body. And would you be so kind as to comment about that? So it's a beautiful question. I thought I answered it at the time, but I thought, oh, for other people that need to understand why we do this the way we do. Now, as I read that, I thought, if for you, when we are doing these beautiful meditations and we breathe in that beautiful earth energy and then we breathe in the beautiful universal life force energy, if you feel that you just want to contain it here and not release it back and out, then contain it. That's up to you. But to me, as I'm reading that, I'd rather let it in my body. To me, we are seeing ourselves as the body and not as the beautiful spirit that resides within the body. We are seeing ourselves as a finite container that contains this beautiful energy. But we are infinite in our spirit form. We are infinite, eternal beings. And so to allow that to flow out of us both ways, through our feet and through our heads. And then what I see is this beautiful picture of, I'll see if I can find one. I keep having this beautiful image. There's a physical body and the energy coming out through the top and going around and then coming back in through the feet and in. It does that. It's really beautiful. It's not that it goes out the top and it's lost out there. It keeps going around and back through. It never stops. There's nowhere where we start and the energy begins. There's no end and beginning. We are all a part of it, just like the wave is a part of the ocean. So there's nowhere that the wave begins and the ocean ends. It's all a part of the one thing. And our energy is the same. I think it's because we're thinking of ourselves as just the physical body, that you want to contain it within the body. And if that feels right to you, then do that. You have to follow your heart. You have to follow your intuition of what feels right. But for me, as an infinite spiritual being, that energy needs to flow, not be trapped inside my body, but flow. Flow out and flow out. Out of the top and out of the bottom. And then it just goes round. It's beautiful. Because energy is always in motion. It's never still. All right, I hope that answers that beautiful question as well. And if you have any questions about the second part, why we do the energy going out back into the earth and up, out through the top, if anything's come up for you as you're listening to that, let us know as well. Okay, so if all is good, we're going to do our beautiful Reiki session in the next video, and I'll see you there for that. Okay, I love you guys. Remember to click like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the videos, and I'll see you for our Reiki session in the next video. Bye for now.